everyone, it's Christmas season. Merry Christmas in advance. So I'm excited about this particular video because I'm just reacting to a comment there was a comment dropped at my last video. So I'll just read. I want you to tell us 10 things you spend money on or did not spend money on 2024. Okay, so what the person is practically asking me is to list 10 things I spent money or did not spend money on 2024. So welcome back to my blog. If you are new here, my name is Blessing Essay. I'm a YouTuber that lives in Belgium. I'm originally from Nigeria, so welcome back to my channel. So this season of my life, I'm just been talking about money because it's really important to take charge of your finances. It's really important to understand your money, right? So I've made some couple of videos talking about money, investment, talking about financial literacy. So like this comment, this question that this person asked me, I should list 10 things I spent or didn't spend money on in 2024. So firstly, I will say, okay, before I go into that, I'll just say my year begins at my birthday. So I was born on the 7th of December. So every of my birthday is the beginning of my year. So I'll start from December last year, 2023, which is the beginning of my year. So I invested on myself because I really wanted to spend my birthday in the mountain. I just really wanted to have that view, be on the mountain. See, I told my friend, like, I had this view, I had a vision that I'm on my birthday, I'm on the mountain sipping some tea and just on the mountain. I really don't know how to ski, right? I've not skied before, but I was just going to go. So I booked it, I made a reservation and I traveled. So I spent money on that. And so how did I do that? So I I have like if I'm going to go on a trip, for me it's like a 3 to 6 months plan. So what I did was so let me just say one of the things I spent money on in 2024, it's traveling. So why did I spend money on traveling? Because traveling is part of, to me, it's part of self-development. It's part of just discovering yourself in another environment, an environment that you are not used to, an environment that it's not your comfort zone. So it's just part of discovery, part of learning process, meeting new people, learning about people, culture, discovering yourself. So for me, that is an investment. So traveling for me was an investment. And yeah, like I said, I traveled a lot in 2024. I invested in traveling. I spent my birthday at the mountain in Switzerland. I did the Scotland tour. I went around Scotland. I traveled to Scotland. I went to nearby cities here. I visited Germany. I went to Berlin. I spent a week with Berlin with my family. I went to Aachen with my cousin. I went to the Netherlands on different occasions. I went to Scotland. I did the tour. I paid for tour. So those are one of the things that I really spend money on in 2024. And the reason why I did that was just because it's part of my journey, it's part of my growth, it's part of my self-development. And there are things that I learned from just doing those things. So I would say my trip to Scotland. So let me just first of all tell you how I'm able to afford those things. So what I do is, if I'm going to go on a trip, so first thing I do is I research, I look for accommodation. I say, okay, this is how much is for ticket, what can I do in this place? So I take my time to research. For me, it's like 6 to 3 months plan. So what I first do is I first book an hotel, because I know that is very important. So I first book an hotel, and when I book an hotel, I know that I have accommodation, right? So once I do that, I book my flight ticket. So if I'm going to travel, let's say if I'm going to travel, so we are now in December, let's say if I'm going to travel in April, right? If I'm going to travel in April, um this December I'll book my hotel. So when I book my hotel this December, then what I will do is in January I'll book my flight tickets. Cause so when I get my salary, I have money that goes to our common account for to running of the house. I have money that I pay myself, which is what I use for myself, like investment or anything. Then another money outside, for emergency savings and everything. I have also like a pension plan that I do. So when I do that, so every month, if I want to travel, I invest little on my traveling. So I don't just go and say I'm just going to book hotel. Excuse me. I don't just go and say I'm just going to book hotel or book the flight at the same time. No, it will be a lot. So I spread it over a period of time. So if I book my flight in January, February, when I collect my salary, I book my hotel. And in March, when I get my salary, I book like a tour, because when I travel, I like to do tour. I don't. I it's good to just travel and discover places, but sometimes if you don't have a guide, you don't know. So I have this app, is Get Guide app. I booked a tour, so that's how I do it. So I do it like in a phase of 3 months. So those are one of the things that I spent money on in 2024. And I'll tell you, when I went to Scotland, right, I flew to Glasgow and I booked a tour, that we traveled through the little the highlands, they call it the highlands of Scotland. So we went through little cities, little villages. I did like a boat cruise in Loch Ness. And one of the things that I one of the highlight of my trip was, so in the course of, when we were doing the road trip, right, it was an straight 10 hours road trip. It was from 7 a.m. till about 6 p.m. So when we're doing the road trip, so when we go to get to villages, we stop. When we get to town, when we get to mountain, we stop. The driver will stop, tell us about, give us a bit of history, background history about the place, tell us, just tell us what about the place, and then it will stop. Will give us like 10 to 15 minutes to just walk around and just view the place and take pictures. So every time we stop, so most of the time when they stop, you see different tour buses, they stop at the same place. And there's this particular man with a son. He had a son that was blind. And I'll say this boy is about, he's tall, so he probably a teenager, maybe probably 16 or so, or not even up to. But one thing I discover is every time we stop, they were not in our own group, but every time we stop, he takes the son. Like if there is a mountain, everybody's trying to get picture, he tells his son to pose, and then he takes picture, and both of them are smiling and they are communicating. This boy cannot see, right, but he was having an experience of his life. So those are one of the things that traveling taught me. Traveling opened my eyes to see like life in a new dimension. Like you don't have to worry about, he's blind, he's blind, but even at that, his dad still took him on tour, paid for him. He was having fun. The dad would tell him to pose, he will pose, and they would take pictures and they would smile. And it felt like he was seeing everything. Like you would ask you that, am I posing right? Is it like he was holding him, they were taking pictures, they were having fun, and this boy was blind. You could see he was blind. He was not only blind, he was a bit, I'll say he was a bit autistic because he had some behaviors. But one thing I learned in that journey was they were having fun, regardless of his disabilities. The dad took him, the dad spent money on it. So those are kind of life experiences. Those are the kind of things you learn in your journey of life when you travel. So that was what that thing really stuck me, because this life is to be enjoyed. Forget about you have challenges, forget about you have bills to pay, forget about things. One thing you have to do is, if if you're blind, enjoy your life as a blind person. If you're lame, enjoy your life as a lame person. It might be easy to say, if because I'm not blind, because I'm not lame, but then everybody have their challenges, everybody have their problems. So that's one thing I learned. I would just stand somewhere, admire this man, and I just pray in my heart like, God, whatever thing that I'm going through, help me to remember to just have fun. Help me to remember to just enjoy myself. Help me to remember to put everything aside. So that's one of the things I spend money on. So the second thing I spend money on in 2024 is um taking a financial class. So I thought I was good with money until I took a financial class. So the financial class was a 3 weeks class. So we had the major classes on Saturday, but in the course of the week we used to have like lessons, evening lessons, from sometimes it starts from 7 p.m. to 9 or something. It's sometimes it's max 1 hour 30 minutes, and we had like a Q&A section. So I took like a financial class to learn about different kind of investments, what you can do with your money. That's where I learned about compound interest, learned about the different kind of investments that was available, and also learned about like budgeting, and also putting everything on paper. Like every amount you spend, you have to put it on paper. Like you have to put it on an Excel sheet, so you understand where your money is going to, you understand what you're doing. So those are one of the things that I spend money on 2024, educating myself when it comes to finances. I took a financial class, I invested. That was an investment for me. So one was traveling, two was investing on taking a financial class, and three, the third thing I spent money on in 2024 was savings. So I have like a saving plan that I do every month. Like I have the saving plan, like this X amount have to go to this saving, right? It's not a lot, but it goes somewhere that I don't touch it, right? And I and the fourth one is also for my pension plan. I have little money that I put for pension. So at the time I'm retired, I have this money. It's a very little amount of money. It's not big. Yeah. These things can be like 100 euros, it can be 50 euros, but then every month you are putting money somewhere. So that one is there. Then I started investing on stock. I started buying stocks. Like if like what I do for stocks is like every 2 months I take money and say, okay, I'm going to buy the stock. I cannot do stock every month because it's a lot, because I have the savings, I have money that I save every month, and I have my pension that I do every month. So for stock, I do it every 2 months. So because when the lady was speaking to us in the finance class, I say it can be as $20, but you have invested that $20, you have bought it on stock, and then your $20 is working for you. So you don't have to wait, because people wait if they have millions. So those are the things that I spend money on, like traveling, taking financial class, pension plan, savings plan, stocks and bonds. That's five. And what else did I spend money on? I spend money on buying books because I just wanted to read. Because I just see these days, I focus that I see these days that we are just always on the phone, because sometimes you're reading on your phone, but then you get distracted when a message come. You don't even, you just get distracted. You just leave what you're reading and you go straight to your message. So what I did, I invested in buy books, right? I invested in buy books. So I find time, like when I'm transiting to work, is that the right word? Yes, when I'm going to work, so I drive to a particular place and I park my car and I take the train. So when I'm on the train to my work, I just bring out my book and I read. So I invest 10 minutes to read, which does something for me, right? Which does something for me. So I read. And I also have like a group where we used to meet. So we have a book that we read, and everybody will come and share what they've learned from the book, and just inspire people. So I invested I invested in buying books, right? It's funny, but it's funny, yeah. But that's the thing. I invested in buying book, and I also invested in taking classes, like register for little class here and there, like Excel. I was not good in Excel, so I took like online class to just improve myself in Excel. I took online class. I joined like a social media group, so I paid. No, digital marketing group, so I paid like a little token of money. So they teach us about content creation, storytelling, and the lady just it was just something like those things that I've learned. I'm not putting it into practice, but with time, I will see that I'll them into practice. So because I just knew that I love creating content, so and I knew like you have to invest. If you like something, you have to invest in it, right? You have to you have to invest in it, right? So I invested. I joined like a group. So I joined like a group. So like she does like auditing. Sometimes she goes to our page, she just looks at it, she just help us like, okay, if you are telling a story, this is the way to go about it. Those things. So what did I not spend money on in 2024? I did not spend money on um buying excesses, because before I used to shop. Like I'm an impulse buyer. So this 2024, I did not spend any money on things that I did not need. I bought things, right? Did I sometimes go to a store and buy? Yes. But I saw that I cautioned myself, because why? I took that finance class. So if I go into a store to buy something, I will look at it and look at it and look at it. Sometimes I will just walk into store and I will just come out, and I did not really spend money on just buying things I did not need, because I have a lot of clothes in my wardrobe that I've not even worn. So I did not spend money on that. And what did I not spend money on in 2024? I used to just sometimes I just used to want to just take myself out, have fun, and just. But now, because I took financial literacy, I don't just do those things anymore. I just used to think about it. I plan, because if I go to my at the end of the month, if I go to where I've put in all my expenses, I've seen like, oh, this I spent here and I spent here. I just, okay, when the coming month, I just make a caution effort, like I'm not going to do that thing. I'm not going to buy that thing. Even if I have two little children. Even if I take them out, I mind what I buy. I don't just like, because sometimes just like let's just spoil them. Like, because when you go to all these little yeah, they call it kermis. It's like park where they, like your village will organize every month. You can bring your children there to go on rides. Sometimes you go, you take two children, you're spending 100 euros. So I'll just say they go on two right, and I'm sticking to it. If they cry, they cry. If they want to do throw tantrum, they should throw tantrum. But Mama has created a budget, and Mama, I'm saying I'm not going to go over, because I'm also saving for them. The money we get for them goes into their account. I don't spend it. So I'm saving for them. I'm saving for their for their future. So when they get to 18, they have money to start life. So I don't touch from their money. So everything that I do is coming from my pocket. So because I've learned on how to budget and how to reduce your expenses, you don't spend more than you earn. So I've learned that. So when I take them there, I did not go over budget. So I don't say like, I just want to do. No, I did not spend money on that, because before I just used to do it because I felt, I was doing it for my kids. But now that I've learned, so so those are the things I spent money on. I didn't spend money on. I don't know if they're up to 10 things. So number one was traveling, because it was good for my self-development. Number two was taking financial classes, because it helped me to understand my finances. It helped me to understand money. Number three was is saving. So I have like a pension saving plan, and I have like a saving plan, which is three and four, and five is investing. So I invest little on stock and bonds. Six is buying books. I invested in buying books, because now I'm just taking time to read, because I just want to read, because sometimes spending time on the phone is not worth it. Like I bought books. And also seven is I registered with a class, digital marketing class, that we the it's a private class. It's a very token, it's not expensive, where they come and tell us about storytelling. They just, the lady just educate us, because if you are doing content creation and you don't understand how to go about it, it's just for you to, people who are experienced, people who have done it over years and they've been successful, they are able to advise you. And for a token, because if I have that kind of experience, I also want you to pay for my class, because this is how you monetize yourself. So she has monetized herself. So I register with her and I follow classes. I'm not consistent with the classes because I have a lot to do, but then I'm educating myself. So those are the things I spend money on. And the things that I didn't spend money on, I did not just go and do impulse buying in 2024. That stopped with me last year. No impulse buying, no too much for the kids, like because I take them out, I want to spoil them. No, they understand, like if we go on any event, two rides is okay. If you want to do more, Mama cannot afford it, we they are happy. So those are the things I spent and I didn't spend money for in 2024. So 7th of December was my birthday. Yeah, it was my birthday. That day was so beautiful. I'm going to like put clips of pictures of how I spent my birthday cake, and just put little pictures. And I'm just going to, maybe the next video will be just a little clip of my birthday, because that day I just wanted to enjoy myself, spend time with my kids, spend time. My mom was here to spend time together. I spoke with my friends, so I didn't really want to film, because I just wanted to be in the moment. Because sometimes it's just good to be in the moment and enjoy the moment. So if you've enjoyed watching this video so far, please can you like and share, and yeah, I hope I was able to answer your questions, the I hope I was able to give response, the kind of response you wanted to your question. And please don't forget to like, share. And my name is Blessing Essay, and catch you in my next video. Bye for now.